going to do a pick-a-pile reading. We have three options to choose from. The first is this charm, right? You have this bird. Sorry, I'm not great at bird identification. And the two flowers, okay, or flower identification. We have this spoon, silver spoon here, and this ring, okay? So take a moment to kind of tune in here and pick what you're most drawn to before we get started. And kind of what I'm getting is a sense that we are going to look at moving forward. Okay, how do we move forward, or, you know, what's preventing us? And that's what the reading is going to be about. Okay, body and soul. Okay, so yeah, definitely transformation energy here. This is 5, right? 5 is about conflict. You have a dragonfly here, right? That's transformation. A lot of green and purple, which to me indicates healing, right? That's purple, the third eye, and green is the heart. So body and soul. Okay, so we'll set that, in the screen so you can see. Okay, this is called the Sleepwalker's Tarot. Okay, let's see what exactly is preventing us from moving forward. Ace of Cups. Okay, opening our heart, right? Some struggle with opening your heart. Okay. So there's a couple different messages, right? Body and soul. The challenge here, what's preventing forward movement, right, is possibly a new beginning at love, is one, right? Healing the heart would be another option. Okay. Ace of Cups and the Lovers. I mean, this is a new opportunity, you know, in a relationship. Okay. But there's also healing that can be done if you're able to kind of open your heart back up. Potentially after, you know, I said 5 is conflict. Potentially after some sort of conflict. So let's see. We have the 2 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, and the 10 of Wands. Okay. So yeah, definitely some sort of connection here, right, that has caused a lot of insecurity. And this is something that you've been really carrying with you for quite some time, okay? It's overwhelming. It's a burden. It's traveling with you. There's some resistance here with the moon on the bottom of the deck, right, to kind of dredging this up to the surface and dealing with it, because it's just been, you know, quote unquote, easier to just kind of press it down. But it's starting to kind of like emerge, okay, and cause this weighing down of yourself. Okay, the 3 of Wands. You've been waiting to kind of feel good again, feel like you're okay with where you are. But it's been challenging, right? There's been some tiredness, possibly, maybe even just a little bit of stubborn energy with kind of, you know, it is what it is, or this feeling of like, I'll do what I want, right? Which of course you should, but it's just kind of waiting, and it's not really serving you necessarily at this point. Ooh, that is too many. All right. I did see the Fool and the Chariot though, so, you know, there is a call to take control, right? And just move forward, have a new beginning. And, you know, this could just be recovering after some sort of heartache. It could also be, sorry if the shuffling was loud. It could also be being able to move on into a new relationship after a time of healing, right? All right. Let's see what you're not seeing, rather. Okay, yeah. There's that moon that wanted to come out before. The moon and the Emperor. Yeah, okay. Again, it's under the surface, okay, with the moon. We're afraid, and I don't know if you can see. There's 2 buildings here, and there's 2 towers here, right? There's this fear, you know, that you're not going to be okay if you move forward. You know, I've never seen a deck where the King of Pentacles is asleep here. I suppose it is called the Sleepwalker's deck, so, or the Sleepwalker Tarot, so perhaps that lends to it, because I guess they're all asleep. My bad. Maybe I'll cut that out, maybe I won't. Keep me humble, right? So, but anyway, there's a fear here. It's under the surface, and you might not even see that, right? That it's still lingering and it's kind of dictating your forward movement, right? It's some programming. It's, I'm fine. I don't need to be in a relationship. I don't need to move on. I'm not dating because I'm fine. But is that true, or is it just a fear that's holding you back? Okay. There could be an over analytical energy here with the Emperor. This can be stubborn to me, right? A stubborn energy. So you might not see that you're really kind of holding on to that and you're kind of over analyzing the situation. Okay. What's the advice? Okay. 4 of Swords. This is to take a break. Okay. Rest and rejuvenate. Okay. Rest and rejuvenate. Tell me more about that. I feel like that is not the message. Could just be to rest the mind. Sober. Yeah. I think this is giving up the thoughts to spirit, right? Because you see here, this person is hugging an angel. Okay. Being comforted here. You have sober. It could be about sobriety. These cards kind of match in color, right? So there could be something that you need to put down, right? If we go off the visual in this deck here, you have the 3 of Swords, which is really like grief, okay? And these are what's upright. These are what's surrounding this character. I'll show you the 3 swords there. And he's still holding one, okay? Which means that even if he's taking a break here, he's still holding one of the swords, okay? And he's holding that as truth, but it's not truth, right? It's a piece of this grief. And so he's holding that in his mind logically, thinking that he's doing the right thing, but he's not really like laid down his sword, so to speak, right? He's not surrendered. And you're being called here to surrender, right? Sobering the mind. Sorry about my nail. Okay, finding that rest, but really, really with surrender. Okay, let the thought, let it go. I don't mean that casually, like let it go, nothing like that. But to really just be able to put it down, okay? Ace of Wands. Okay. Yeah. Going forward, right? Taking what's being offered to you, a new opportunity, okay? Using that motivation, almost, it's more actually like an inspiration, right? From spirit too. Being able to take that, they're offering that to you, right? Giving you ideas, giving you motivation with moving forward. They're like, hey, here's your opportunity. Here's your sign, so to speak. Okay. All right, let's see what the outcome is if you are able to truly surrender to new opportunities. Okay. The 9 of Swords. So this is getting closer, right, to the end of that thought pattern and the end of that mental conflict, the end of that cycle. Okay, having a final push, moving forward, stopping the waiting and going ahead. Tell me more about the outcome. Yeah, Page of Swords. It's interesting. This is like having a new start, Page of Swords, in this arena, right? It's interesting to me that the 10 of Swords isn't there. You go from the 9. I mean, you could say the Page is like kind of a starting over of a cycle, right? And taking back that power. You have those 3 birds, 3 golden birds. Expanding your mind, kind of starting fresh. So it's going to ultimately be up to you to be able to have that Ten of Swords in here, right? To be able to close out the cycle, ultimately. Okay, and then we're just going to end with one of these. This is called Healing Energy Oracle. Self-love. I attend to my needs by listening to my heart. My inner essence lets me know what is good for me. I respect my limits. I answer the requests of my body and soul. Shut up. Body and soul? Body and soul. Sorry. I answer the requests of my body and soul. Thus, I learn to love myself. Okay, take care. Ooh, we ended on 11:11. All right, if you chose the spoon, this is your reading here. Okay, and we have Roots of Abundance. Nice, number 2. Okay, bringing things into balance, choice, decisions. Roots of Abundance, I like that with the tree and the butterfly. So there's lots of transformation energy here in this card. Okay, so we're going to get some more cards here and see kind of what we're talking about here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you have the Ten of Cups, right? So Roots of Abundance, right? Planning your roots into the things that are going to make you happy. Kind of having the castle, having it all, right? Kind of living the dream, so to speak. Okay, so that is what we're talking about when it comes here. Okay, let's see what the challenge is for you to this. Okay, Knight of Wands and the Sleepwalker. All right, so the Knight of Wands, as a challenge, right? You're moving fast. You're following things that you're passionate about. Okay, go, go, go. But what can happen is you can get easily burnt out, right? The Knight of Wands is very passionate, motivated, determined, and they go fast. But what happens is, you know, just like when you're running, right? If you sprint, you can't go as far or as long as if you're kind of jogging, if you're that slower pace. Okay, and so this might be something that you're kind of like not aware of, okay, as you're moving forward. Okay. And I wanted to point out too, I was going to put this spoon back, right? And the spoon is about abundance, right? It's the silver spoon and it has that crown there at the top, right? So I just thought that that kind of was nice because it matched the Roots of Abundance. Okay, so we know your challenge, right? This potential burnout, rushing too fast. Let's see why you're rushing. Why do we have the Knight of Wands? Oh, oops, sorry. It could be the influence of friends or your community, right? Celebration, happiness, having fun. It may be fun to you. This could also mean that you're just kind of, you're kind of going after the fun aspects of life, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, right? But it could be too much for you to really be able to plant these roots and have the abundance in the life that you seek, okay? Because there may be too much play, I guess. You know, I'm not really a fan of nixing any sort of play, but if it's not helping you reach your goals or it's not aligning with the lifestyle that you want, you know, then it's not going to serve you, right? So even if you don't have that castle yet, you want to be living in a way that as if you did have that castle, right? Because it's not going to magically happen that the castle is going to drop into your lap and you're going to become this new castle dwelling person, right? We have to be who we want our life to be, if that makes sense. Okay. So let's see what else here. The Three of Wands and the Tower. Okay. So part of the reason that you may be, I hate to use the word shallow. It's not shallow like, you know, like shallow Hal or being shallow. Superficial, I guess I would say. So if you're kind of like living this superficial life, and hear me out, I just mean kind of you don't have the roots, okay? You have the idea of what you want, but you're speeding on the top, right? And kind of just not planning those roots. You're moving fast but not having the stability, okay? And the reason for this with the Three of Wands is that you're waiting for things to blow up, okay? And I don't know if you're waiting because you're afraid. This is why you don't want to establish the roots, is because you're afraid that you'll lose everything. Or you're running as fast as you can until something halts you, okay? That is the Tower. Something is a huge roadblock, you know, like bad, or something you don't want to happen that's going to force you to settle down. So that is part of the issue. Okay. So yeah, you're rejecting that which makes you happy here, right? Because you're not seeing it. There's something that you're disappointed about, or something that has caused you grief. And it's this. So there's 3 cups here, and you pulled the 3 of cups, right? Well, technically I pulled the 3 of cups, but this focus on this happy friendship, partying, whatever it is, okay, the fun, it's causing you to be asleep. Close your eyes to what is being offered to you, okay, which is a new path that would be the start of your journey towards this 10 of Cups, okay? So this is taking your focus away. Let's see how we can overcome that. Yeah, I think deep down you're aware of this. Now, this did want to kind of come out like this, so you might be hiding that from yourself. But I do think that if you looked deep, you would know that, okay? Also, you have 2 here and 2 here. You know what it is that you want, and how to plant your feet, but it's just difficult. And why? Why is it difficult? King of Swords. There's a fairy in this one talking to the King of Swords, which is interesting. Of course, it's blue because the blue is of our throat chakra. It's on the left side, so that's feminine energy. All right. Let me just think on that for a second. You know, okay. Now, I don't think that, like, if we pulled this card, let's say, I don't think that the fairy speaking into his ear is necessarily nefarious, okay? But it may be that you're letting somebody else's words affect you, okay? You're letting somebody kind of speak to you and give you advice, or something like this that is hindering you, okay? It's keeping you from tapping into what you know, okay? I would say that with it being in the left ear, it could be a female, right? A feminine that is talking to you. So just watch for that. If there's somebody that's impacting you, tell me more. Okay, that's kind of causing you to have some nervousness, right? Or feel like you can't speak your own truth. That's something. Let's look at advice. Okay, this came out before I asked for advice, and it did come out in the reverse. So for some reason, I feel like whoever is kind of talking in your ear, right, they might be immature when it comes to speaking, or they're just causing you to be nervous, that you can't have everything that you desire for some reason, okay? And this is probably why you don't go for it, why you stay on that superficial route, even though what you really want is roots of abundance and everything, right? You want it. You're afraid. And, you know, it could be anybody. It could be, you know, it could be voices from parenting, from growing up, things like that, that makes you think that you can't have everything that you want. So let's see what the advice is. Okay, you have the 8 of Wands. Okay. I'm going to pull some more on that, because that is a fast energy. We kind of talked a little bit about burnout there. Okay, 3 of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. Okay, So there needs to be, or you're being encouraged, right, to have some back and forth communication and collaborate, potentially with a group of people, some sort of institution. This could even be a financial institution, if that makes sense for your situation. Otherwise, it's like an organization, community, right? Something like that. So having back and forth communication, collaborating, and being able to see things differently than you have, okay? I mean, it could be counseling, it could be financial counseling, career counseling, even just regular counseling to address your fears, okay? And what's the outcome if you are able to do that? Okay, one more advice card. Yeah, two more. Oh, okay. Yeah, see it differently and then be able to release that, what's not serving you, okay? Yeah, so you can move forward in a better direction, okay? And then what would the outcome be? So not only do we have to have that back and forth communication or that growth, that expansion by seeing things differently, a second message kind of that I'm getting to is there may need to be a little bit of financial sacrifice in a sense, especially if you're saving up for something, okay? So we get to that step, you can make those changes, see it differently, and then you can release the outdated thoughts. Something's bad is going to happen. I can't really dig deep here because, I'm afraid. And then once you're able to let it go, you can move forward, okay? So let's see what the outcome is if you're able to do this. The Hermit. It's an interesting looking Hermit card. Okay. So you're able to do some soul searching, right? Some introspection. I think you're able to see yourself more clearly, right? Your motivations. It's really examining. You have a new understanding of being able to examine yourself and realizing that sometimes when we're rushing and we're moving forward, we're not stopping to think, why am I moving in this direction? Is this taking me closer to my goals? You're going to have greater introspection here, which is nice. There's that 8 of Cups, right? You're able to move away into new options. Okay. So yeah, so being able to deal with this one piece of your life is really going to it's really a pathway for growth, okay? You're suddenly going to be able to make lots of assessments in your life. You're going to see things differently because you're able to conquer this one thing. And it could be too, like getting other factors, eliminating other people or situations out of the way. But it's like this one for you is pretty significant, right? That once you're able to identify this fear, it's like dominoes, right? You start to see other things, and you can continue to move on and assess different areas of your life, okay? And move towards the things that you want. So, and the Fool on the bottom of the deck, right? Take that leap forward, go. Okay, I am going to pull one oracle card. It's called the Healing Energy Oracle to close. Well, that was too many. Well, yeah, lines up. Positive action. I focus on the beauty in me and I find silence. I live and honor the present by doing what I can do now. What I cannot change, I let go of and entrust to God. And then success. I grow and thrive in the universe. I discover the purity of my heart and the higher wisdom that guides me toward victory. I direct my thoughts towards clarity and nurture wisdom, love, and goodness within me. I am free now and I succeed in my life. So yeah, taking that positive action, right, leading you towards success. All right, perfect, thanks. All right, so if you chose the ring here, this is your reading. So we have a burst of magic, number 48. Okay. So you can see the silhouette here. She's kind of rising out of this. A burst of magic. Okay. 48. That's 12, that's 3, that's expansion, that's growth. So let's see what this is about, a burst of magic. what we're going to be talking about. It's like emerging. Okay. So we have the Four of Pentacles, right? So there's something that's being held on to, okay, because there's a belief that it grants us stability, okay? But more so it's clinging. It's clinging to what we have, okay? Let's find out more. This does prevent growth and forward movement. This is a really, you know, she has a coin on her head here at her heart and then 2 feet planted. So this is something that this person is very grounded in, right? They rest their entire stability on whatever this is that they're holding. Okay, so let's see what they're holding. Okay. We have the Seven of Pentacles. There's something that has been, I was going to say planted, but ingrained into the self and one's sense of self. Okay, and it's ingrained pretty deeply, right? It's planted like a long time ago. That's why there's so much stability resting in it. Okay, but really what it's done is it's kind of caused this thought prison, this belief prison. So, I mean, it could even be something from childhood, right? A belief, even that you've held on to, that you've taken along with you, and your whole stability is reliant upon that. It is preventing forward movement. Okay. The Judgment card. It could be a judgment. Okay, a judgment of yourself, something that causes you to judge yourself. There's also, you know, what I'm getting visually from the Judgment card here, right, is there's someone speaking, and all these people, they have their hands up, you know, like in a receiving pose, right? Like if you were in a meditation or you were gonna have some healing or some energy done, you may sit like with your hands palm side up on your thighs, right? As somebody is delivering messages to you, and you're accepting that. So it's possible this isn't from childhood, but it could be, right? But all these people are looking to this one who's giving them information, and they're receptive of it. They're really taking it in. So it's planted deep, right? And they're resting their stability. And with the ring, right, some commitment here into that. But it's trapping them. It's causing like it's completely keeping them from having any sort of forward movement. We have the Hanged Man. Okay. So seeing things differently. Tell me more about that. You know, I've never necessarily seen a hangman where the foot is bleeding, right? Kind of like they're being hung out to dry or something, but it's causing pain. It's causing blood here. This person is tied by their right ankle, okay, which is really ankles forward movement, right? Moving forward. But they're like tied there. Okay. What's the challenge here? Or kind of want to find out more about this Judgment. Tell me more about the Judgment. How can they recognize what this is for them? Well, it could be different for everyone, but it could be a rejection, a place where you've had a rejection, you've been rejected, where there's boredom, apathy. Okay. Yeah. Where you don't see, it's somewhere where you don't see. It's like you don't see that you're bleeding, right? That what's been offered to you has caused your life to tip upside down, right? To not kind of know how to see things exactly. There's like a lot of clouds here, right? Like a lot of hidden. It's like being in the fog, right? Not being able to see. In some ways, this person has they're choosing not to see. So let's look at more of the challenge here. Sober. Right? Of course, it could be literal and be about getting sober, right? But it's also about opening one's eyes. You know, I'm pretty sure this is the only card in the deck where her eyes are open, right? Because she's surrendered. She's talked maybe to her angels she's relied on. I would say angels, spirit guides, you know, whoever you kind of talk to here. And by relying on that, you could even say your higher self, right? Relying on that, that helps you to open your eyes, okay, to see things clearly. Kind of reminds me of temperance. But I did say that was a challenge. So the challenge might be, you know, that you're listening to whatever this redheaded person, they don't have to have red hair, whatever the one has told you or whatever the one belief is, say. And I guess embrace more of this angel, right? Blue-haired. I swear, if there was somebody with blue and red hair, and that'd be crazy. Okay. Okay. This could be Three of Pentacles. This can be like a religious organization. It can be a community, a group of people. Okay. So it could just be a teamwork, a team effort, something that you are involved in or something that you could be involved in to see things differently. I'm going to look at advice now. I mean, just as a real quick, I'm not going to take all these, but, you know, doing your research on kind of the things that are kind of chaining you and holding you, the things that are toxic here, so that you can move past this kind of trapped energy, right? Especially when it comes to your thinking, okay? Which it's causing insecurities. Okay, so that you can kind of be back into your badass, expansive self. So, okay, let's look at advice. Okay, you have the Queen of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Chariot. So, there may be, in some way where you're being called to have like a receptive energy to receive some sort of apology coming in, okay, before you can take control and move forward, is one message. The other can be about being confident that you can have a new path, whether that's emotional with the cups or spiritual, you know, knowing you're powerful, you're magical. The Queen of Wands is magical, right? So being able to kind of take that confident action, knowing that you have that magic and beauty inside of you, especially with this burst of magic, right? And have this new path. Page of Cups is a new beginning. Okay, it can be in the emotions, it can be in the spiritual realm too. And that you control your forward movement. You control the duality in your life, okay? You can take control and you can move forward. And successfully too with the Chariot, okay? Also, if you need to express your emotions, sometimes the Chariot can veil their emotions, right? Kind of wear this mask and be like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. No worries. Right? But if you're needing to express, be honest about your emotions, that could be another meaning for advice. Okay, and let's see if you're able to do this. Take that action. What is the outcome? Sorry, that was too many. Justice. Okay, interesting. So Justice is kind of like a karma card, right? Things coming back into balance. Okay, having justice in a situation. It could be legal, potentially, right? But yeah, getting what's due to you, getting that justice, having things be fair, balanced. Okay, so however that resonates for your situation. This is also Libra season too. If there's any karma, right, associated with this, that is saying that that would also play out, okay, too. But also, it's kind of cool, strange. I don't know that justice, well, I'm not even going to go there. But, you know, she is also holding a sword, right? To me, with some kind of fire energy around it, okay. So not only does she have justice, but she has the truth and she has passion, right? Motivation, determined. She's determined to speak the truth, right? So that is a great outcome card. So if we look back to, yeah, you have the star on the bottom. So continue to be faithful, hopeful that this will work out for you. Okay, even communication with your guides is another thing. What is this card? I'd have to go back and watch to know where this came from. Maybe you know when it came out, but it's about making a choice. It's interesting too, the Two of Swords here. I don't think they're usually black, you know, light and dark. It's kind of like the Chariot, right? That duality. So your choice may feel like it's the path of light or the path of dark, or you may perceive it as good or bad, right? Like only one choice is right. So one choice is right. Feels like the price is right. Okay, that was strange. But there's butterflies, right? So transformation, being able to make this choice, there's transformation, okay? And there is a duality in that, right? That you maybe are seeing two sides of something, and now you're called to make a decision about what you see, okay? So whatever that was over there. But back to this, a burst of magic. It's really somebody emerging here. So I just kind of feel like there is a message here with a burst of magic too. So I'm just going to look in the book. So it says, sometimes you may find that something you'd been pondering or a dilemma you'd let go of revisits you without warning. It may hit you while you're thinking about nothing, or the trigger may be just the right word arising in a conversation, book, or blog. An epiphany strikes you like a lightning bolt, waking you up to a truth that has previously eluded you. It's as if the whole world stops in that moment as you integrate the missing piece of the puzzle you were meant to solve all along. So it says, this is such a time for you now. Answers are coming directly from source and being downloaded into you with such force of conviction that you cannot be the same again. Be grateful for this beautiful burst of magic. It is not an everyday gift. Okay, it says, even when it appears that you are trapped, you always have a key to unlock the solution if you cultivate the willingness to be open to and in tune with source. The answers you seek come when you stop looking for them. It does talk about transformation. So yeah, it could be this new path here too with the Page of Cups, right? So anywho, if you do want me to look deeper into your personal situation, you can definitely message me.